and we produce more ethanol than we consume in gasoline in this state. This industry provides good-paying and vital jobs right here in communities all across the state. It supports our communities in our rural way of life. It provides American-made renewable fuels and other byproducts like this right here, and we must stand together and send a clear message to Washington, D.C. Don't mess with the RFS.
The next generation, the opportunity, we are not done. We are not done with the opportunity for growth, and we got to certainly make sure. We have to certainly make sure that EPA realizes that and others. We all know we have a lot at stake. Come a long way. We have a lot of things that can happen. We know we don't have blend walls. We have pretend blend walls. We have an industry that has said there's blend walls. We have an opportunity certainly to grow to the 15. We have opportunities for 85%. We certainly have many, many more places that biodiesel needs to be in. And so these opportunities are out there and need not to be stopped now.
It's about increased energy security, increased food security, and increased environmental security for all Americans. Why, of all the government agencies, why would the Environmental Protection Agency do a 180-degree turn on this environmental project, progress, innovation, and job creation? Why would they do that? We simply cannot let this proposal stand.
But the EPA needs to hear from us, to hear loud and clear that they should never underestimate rural America, and they should not underestimate the Iowa farmer. Despite an extremely difficult weather year, we are just finishing up the largest corn harvest in the history of the United States. Over 200 biorefineries around the country stand ready to convert some of that corn into low-cost, high-octane ethanol. And let's not forget, into millions of tons of high-protein livestock feed, the DDGs, like you see here today. And Big Oil knows that it cannot compete in a fair marketplace with ethanol because ethanol is cheaper, cleaner, and higher octane.
Currently, the ethanol industry supports more than 383,000 jobs, and the biodiesel industry supports 62,000 jobs. That means that over 445,000 Americans depend on these good-paying and essential jobs to support their families. This one proposed rule by EPA would directly jeopardize 37,400 ethanol jobs and 7,500 biodiesel industry jobs. I hope and I know from this turnout today that you're all going to be joining us and going to protecttherfs.com to ensure the message is heard all the way to the EPA administration in Washington, D.C. Let's let them know why I was out here, and we're not going to sit still. Thank you.
Our renewable fuels all together bring our balance of trade back around to, it's a plus of about $130 billion that we would be spending to buy from over in that area that's now coming under nuclear threat if we let it go the way it is. It's good for environmental protection people that care a lot about that. It's the equivalent of taking 27 million vehicles off of the road, just the environmental benefit of what we do burning renewable fuels here. And by the way, biodiesel took the hardest hit proportionally. I don't know why that is. It's irrational to me. It looks like they're using data from 2011. I'm not confident that the EPA has the legal authority to do this, so we've got a couple of alternatives. Turn the heat up, turn the pressure up, put the message in. If you've got a network out there across the country and any other congressional districts, do that too. Administration, do that too. And we need to look at the statute very, very carefully. And here's another benefit. Right behind us here, as I watch these DDGs pile up behind us, there's a feeder not very far from here that used to put 75 bushel of corn into a steer to get him finished. Now he's down to 15 bushel because he can blend the DDGs with cheap feed and rough hay and corn stalks and you name it. You all know about that. And the cattle business has come back to Iowa for the same reason. We're going to stand together on this. We're going to tell them, keep your hands off the RFS. That's our holy grail.
There's one person that could make all the difference in the world right now, and I believe he could do it without any doing it for political purposes or for any other reason, and that is because he said, I'm for all of the above. I'm for green energy. I'm for biofuels. I'm for all these. And the President of the United States, if he would whisper in the ear of the director of the EPA, I don't think you're doing the right thing, this would come to a halt right now. But we're battling ignorance about ethanol. You know, and you can tell that when in Washington, D.C., a lot of people refer to it as ethanol. They come up with these arguments, you shouldn't be using corn for fuel because it's driven up the price of food, when 10 cents of a cornflake box goes to the farmer. The rest of it goes to everything else. And when I try to explain to them, you know, we're planting more acres to corn than any time since the 1930s. And if we didn't have ethanol, we wouldn't be planting that much corn. And if you were planting 85 or 86 million acres of corn and we had a drought, we'd still have $7 corn, wouldn't we?
I love this state, and we can't let this happen to us. Tell your neighbors, tell your families. Senator Grassley said it well. We're fighting ignorance. We're fighting ignorance. We're fighting big oil with all the money they have. But we have the grassroots people here in the heartland that know better. And we've been working for this for decades, and we've made great progress, and we can't let them turn the clock back on us. Would be extremely harmful to Iowa, to our communities, to our families, to our jobs, to our farmers, to the environment. As Iowans, we want good jobs in our state. We're working hard every day to bring them here. We want good commodity prices, not below production prices that this is going to give us.